just getting set for the World Pranic Festival presentation. I'm just waiting for my introductions to happen any moment. I'm just making sure that I have all cameras. I've got numerous cameras here, just recording the event and posting the event to all of my channels so that all of my friends and family can see it, and so that I have a record of it for myself. Obviously, the official version from the Pranic World Festival will probably be much more complete than mine, but this is me live, getting ready to go. Just a couple minutes before our introductions will begin in just a moment. Please just bear with me while I am just getting set to share. Just a moment. Please bear with me. Just a moment. Thank you so much. Just practicing being with the energy inside of me. This is the practice, to be with the loving energy that is inside of us, and to allow that loving energy to flow through us, to use our body as an instrument. Here we go.
John, we are about to start.
Thank you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hello everyone, and welcome again to the Pranic World Festival 2021. Here Naida in Kokore, in this rainy day. Our beautiful earth is nourished by the water, and we are nourished by our own presence here inside the main building of the Eden Pranic Center. It's such a pleasure for me today to introduce you to our new guest. Usually the mainstream imagine pranic people like skinny, etherical, weak, spiritual being. So I'm always very happy when we can demonstrate that here in the pranic family we also have fit and strong being that can really share how this new paradigm is possible for everyone. And I'm very happy to introduce you to John DePaz from his private gym in Canada. Hi, John.
Hi there. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, John. How are you?
I am good. I'm very good. I'm a little bit nervous, but excited. I'm going to say it's excited energy.
Well, we are excited too to have you here and actually to listen to your sharing. I will now give you this time for you to share whatever your heart, whatever you feel. It's important for us to know about you, your journey, and the messages. I will come back to you after your sharing for the Q&A, and I actually invite the audience here in presence and on Zoom to write the questions so that then I can pass them to John. I pass you the mic, and thank you again to be here with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nadia. Nada. Thank you so much. Naida, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this honor to be here today. Thank you, friends and family, to all of my support network. To my immediate family, thank you so much for supporting me through my transition, through my changes, through my healing, through my self-loving journey, through my walk back to myself. I appreciate my immediate family and my extended family. All of you have been so valuable and important to me and necessary for me in my journey. And I am grateful. I'm grateful. I want to express gratitude and blessing. I also want to honor and send blessing to just the public that is thirsty for healing, thirsty for understanding, thirsty for peace and love and joy in their lives. And I want to send gratitude to all of you that are looking to the breatharian community for these answers. I want to instill some confidence in you today that all of your answers can be answered here. That the breatharian community can be your healing, can be your loving, can be your joy, your happiness, and your peace. Blessings to you, the public that are tuned in today or watching this on the replay. Blessings finally to my breatharian peers. Thank you, Nicholas, for this honor today, bringing up a lot of emotion for me. Thank you very much. This is my second year sharing here, and I'm truly grateful for it. Thank you to my peers for inspiring me to come forward, to inspiring me to keep going forward. Because the walk is long and it is lonely. Thank you and blessings to you all, and blessings to all of the original teachers of this ancient tradition. You know, I just mention a couple of names. I cannot mention all of the names and all of the traditions that have, helped to nourish and create this. But I have to acknowledge in science, most modern, I believe, Arnold Ehret and a Professor Hilton Hotima, leaders, pioneers of this family, the breatharian family, the Pranic community. We have to honor these teachers. We have to honor the great sages of all time in the West. We have to honor Moses and Jesus and Allah, the prophet. And in the East, we have to honor the Hindu faith and Buddhism and Taoism and yoga and energy healing and Tai Chi and martial arts and, everything of energy medicine and everything of natural medicine, everything that's been valuable to healing since the beginning of time. Hippocrates. So many great scientists and great thinkers of all time have recognized that the food is the disease. The food is the bringer of disease, sickness, and disease. So, I'm not sure how long ago now it was that Nicholas contacted me this year, but ever since the contact, I've been thinking, wondering, what am I going to say? What is my message going to be? And the thought, the realization occurred to me that, all of us breatharians, all have come to breatharianism from our own personal healing journey. Mine has been 5 years realistically, honestly, 10 years of healing, but 5 years walking with the breatharian approach, with the ideas of Dr. Errett, and the ideas that came and I learned as I moved through the practice. So, my conversation today, I believe, has to be, what is breatharianism? Well, what is breatharianism to me? Because we'll all have our own little bit of a different, idea about what breatharianism is. And I recognize that there's kind of 3 groups that I would like to address. There's many more, but I would really like to address 3 different groups with my definition of breatharianism today. And it occurred to me that depending on the group that I address, my message is a little bit different. So, to my closest family and friends, to those in my community, to those that I speak to on a daily basis, those that I practice with, I want to I want to speak to you. I want to also speak to the public, and I also want to address my peers. And I have a little message I think that's appropriate for each one. To my closest family and friends. Here I go again. I am sorry for any confusion that I have created for you while I have made new sense in my life. It's scary and it's uncertain and it's confusing, the breatharian life. And it's a different message from all of the world. You see how few breatharians there are being acknowledged in the world right now. It's a lonely walk. Everything that you know and believe up to this point in your life is creating what you have got in your life. To get something else in your life, you're going to have to know or believe or understand something else. This is the walk of the breatharian. To be around, conflict with the world all of the time. And to find peace there. Because the walk of the breatharian is a walk of peace. It's a walk of love. It's a walk of healing. It's a walk of energy healing. And that's a practice to be the oddball or the black sheep in the world, in your community, in your families. It is a challenging walk, and I understand the confusion when someone is peering in at the breatharian life from someone that's very close to you, your close family and friends. That some of the things that you do to become breatharian will seem contradictory and backwards to them. And that, I know, is not only scary for the breatharian, but I'm certain creates fear and anxiety in the friends and family that are around as well too. So my message to family and friends is, Can you surrender what you know? Can you let go of what you know? Would you let go of what you know to have everything that you ever wanted? Can you seek to find the things that I am talking about inside of yourself rather than through opposition and resistance with me? The human normal response to an alternative thought is, to fight against it. It's just our nature. I encourage you, if you're working with a breatharian coach, or if you're around a breatharian, or you're living with a breatharian, or if you're in my family, or if you're a friend of mine, I encourage you to, take the response sometimes and see if you can tune it into yourself rather than try to fix it in me. This is the walk of the breatharian. Self-love. Truly, when we love ourselves, we seem to speak in backwards sentences to everybody else. And this is the confusion. This is what creates the confusion. I would like to send out my love and blessing and gratitude to you. I want to wish my best to my closest family and friends. Thank you and blessings to you. To the public that are following and learning from the breatharian journey and following the breatharian walk, I'm going to honor 3 sectors of the public that I would like to have an address to directly. I would like to speak to the weight loss or the weight management community. I understand that, the breatharian life is a food-free life. It's a moving to less food. It's a change of nourishment. And I recognize that this is at the heart of the weight management population. This is the lesson that the world needs to know. If you're over 45 and you want to be fabulous, if you are over 50 and you want to be fit, if you are over 60 and you want to be sexy, then you have something that you can learn here about food freedom, about balancing our nutrition, about learning how to eat less, because that's what it is. That is what health is, weight management is. It's learning how to eat less, but not just learning how to eat less. Learning how to eat less and loving it. We have to learn how to eat less, and we also have to love it. Because if we don't love it, we will never last. It can't just be a diet. It isn't just an exercise plan. It isn't about sets and reps and weight. It is about a change of mind, a change of understanding, and a change of energy within the human. This is an inside shift. It is not something about forcing yourself not to eat. While it may begin that way, and it may feel that way, especially at the beginning, that when you do make emotional change, energetic shift within you, when the low frequency energy is transmuted, transformed, and brought back to the light, that your weight, emotional weight, will leave, and so will your physical weight leave, and so will your need for all of those foods. And I also want to encourage you to eat your way there. It is not for certain about a starving of yourself. Do not starve yourself, lovelies. Do not starve yourselves. This is not about force. This is about love. If you look at all of the longevity studies, every animal has been fed less. And every animal that has been fed less has lived longer. The breatharian life, the fasting lifestyle, is about eating less. It's about learning how to eat less. It's not something that you get from an answer. You're not going to hear the answer here today. You'll hear the answers. However, it is putting these answers into a daily practice, a routine, a ritual that's going to allow it to transform you emotionally, energetically. It's going to change your beingness. Your humanness is changed. This is not a force. This is an energetic shift. The human is a physical, mental, and emotional being. In order for you to overcome your weight issues, a lifetime of weight issues even, is you're going to have to take a holistic approach to yourself and your nutrition and your movement and your exercise. You will need to remove some physical waste from your body. Some. It's being polite. You will have to remove a bunch, a pile, heaps and heaps of waste from your body. This does not happen overnight. It happens through habit, behavior, nutritional change. It comes through conscious sitting, a conscious sitting practice. It comes from a conscious eating practice. It comes from a conscious movement practice. It comes from a conscious living practice. Every one of us can do it, regardless of how long you've had a weight issue. The body knows the way. You can remember the way home. But you'll have to do this work inside. It will be frustrating and sad. It will be scary. It will get dark at times. However, you will prevail. Because from the light you came, and to the light you must go. To the physical pain, emotional pain, to pain community, the weight loss community, to the pain community. And when I talk to the pain community, I'm talking to the physical pain, aches and pains in your knees, in your lower back, in your neck and shoulders, in your elbows, injuries, past injuries, physical pain, headaches, digestive problems, bloating, gas, physical pain, and emotional pain. If you have relationship problems with your partner, with your parent, with your siblings, with your children, with your friends, with your co-workers, relationship problems of all kinds, and financial problems of all kinds. All of these are pain. And I also roll into the pain community disease, sickness, illness. Disease is pain, emotional or physical pain. So to the pain community, to the disease community, to the sick, I want to inspire hope with the message of Dr. Arrett and so many since then, and so many before then, have shared the truth that everything problematic within the human has an inflammatory root, a mucus root, that it is mucus that the human makes themselves, that is stifling, strangling, suffocating the human and making their life dark and gray and colorless. It's inflammation. So this is the physical aspect of the problem. Mucus, inflammation inside of the body. This is the root cause of all sickness, illness, disease. The root cause of pain. Physical, emotional pain. The root causes. The physical roots. Then also that there is an emotional root to all of this. That whether you were emotionally hurt first, there was a trauma, or you started eating or drinking or conducting yourself in such a way that you were creating this toxin inside of your body and life, whether it was the food or the emotion that came first. I do not know. And I don't know that it matters. But there is a physical issue, some toxin that must be removed from the body if you have pain of any kind. If you have a problem, there is a toxin that must be removed. And until it's gone, that pain won't go. There is a physical toxin that must be removed. There is an emotional, not a toxin, an emotional energy, a depressed energy, a shadow energy, a lesser than the light energy. A pain, an emotional pain, a sadness, a sorrow, a fear-based emotion that's inside of you that needs to be brought back to the light. A removal of the inflammation, an acceptance and a forgiveness of the emotion. And a release of the thoughts and the words that are associated. Recognizing that the human is physical, mental, and emotional, we must recognize that so is the sickness, illness, disease, or pain. all aches and pains, regardless of the diagnosis, regardless of who has diagnosed that over you. I want to release you today of any burden or lack or limited thought that you have about yourself, and reassure you that you are an infinite, loving light being, and that you can return to that thought and word and practice. Everything heals, all things heal. Anything can and will heal. All of it can heal. Did I say everything? We must have a new understanding of science. What we know cannot get us there. What we will need to get some new understanding of health and healing to do this. And that information, while hidden and suppressed, can be found. And it's not just a simple acceptance either. It's going to be a little bit of back and forth between you and your breatharian mentor to overcome the thoughts and words and emotions and habits and behaviors and lifestyle that is making us sick. Would you let go of all that you know to have everything that you ever wanted? The third part of the public that I would like to address is personal empowerment. People that are here exploring the breatharian world to improve their self-image, to improve their self-worth, to improve their value, their belief in themselves, to learn how to love themselves. This, I believe, is the biggest potential growth for our community, to the public, because I believe that this is the area where people may have not as much resistance. Maybe not. But food free or even eating less is a hard sell in a modern world. Personal empowerment is how you think and speak about yourself. Personal empowerment, your worth, your value, the way you feel about yourself is a result of the things that you are thinking and saying and doing. Would you talk to your child the way you talk to yourself? Would you talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself? What would your best friend think or say to you or about you if you spoke to them the way you speak to yourself? We have to learn how to cultivate a habit and behavior of speaking in the affirmative and speaking kind and loving thoughts and words to ourselves about ourselves. This is the breatharian walk. And my final address today would be to my breatharian peers. And I would, say to you, the world has stumbled upon you. You were not at the front of Google. You were not on top of YouTube, Facebook, or any of the search engines. If the world is here and standing in front of you, they have found you. But they do not believe you. They do not believe in you. They will challenge you. The walk is long and lonely. So I must say thank you for inspiring me, for taking that walk, for taking that journey yourself, that very lonely journey filled with pain, fear, and emotion, uncertainty, loneliness. And this is why we need our community. And this is why we need to have friends, make contacts, share with each other, like each other's work, comment on each other's work, take time to support each other, come together in community, speak together, keep in contact, support one another. We need to be a community of unity, even though we come from such a vast, eclectic of colors, cultures, sexes, and religions. The community must remain open to all and loving and supportive to all. They are coming here for food freedom. They're coming to learn to live without food. This is what they have heard. I encourage all of my peers to do your best, as I know you all must do already, and to encourage every person from the public to turn from the outside and the food and the substance as a focus, and to turn their focus inside. Encourage your students, your learners, those that are reaching out to you. Encourage them to find their answers inside, to find their intuition, to find their internal wisdom, and to light a fire inside of themselves, to come to find the power that they have within. This is a practice of breath work and meditation, and tuning into the inner subtle energies, which are more easily found in the absence of food, and energies that will be stirred and released and freed through the detoxification process, which is a mental, physical, and emotional change of energy or being. Thank you so much for my time today. Thank you so much. This is the end of my transmission and sharing for today. The message of the breatharian, I believe the message of the breatharian to me is a walk back to the light, a walk back to love, finding and realizing the love and joy that we have inside of ourselves through a daily practice, a daily walk, a walk of love, meeting your life with more love. This is the practice of breatharianism.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for your touching words. Such a beautiful sharing. And yes, it's a very unique and lonely journey, but we are not alone. and the Pranic Festival is a proof of that. We are many, always growing. Every year there are more speakers, people from all over the world, and the shifting of paradigm is happening. And thanks to all the people. Well, thank you again, really. And I now have few questions for you, and I encourage the audience to send questions in the Q&A section. So, have you experienced a loss of muscular weight, a loss of muscular mass during your transition, and how did you deal with that?
Yes, for certain. I am smaller than I was. I am 40 pounds smaller than I was. But, you know, I'm in balance now. And so there is a loss of the phony baloney muscle. The inflammation and the pus, the water retention, the ballooned out muscles from the protein approach to life. That is lost as we move towards the breatharian life. So the detoxification process eliminates a great deal of fluid, waste, inflammation, pus, waste, human waste of all kind, trapped in the lymphatic system, trapped in our physical bodies. This waste needs to be eliminated from the body. How did I deal with it? There was emotional, I was very attached to my physical body and my muscles and my bigger muscles that I had. So there's an emotional part there that you have to let go a little bit of. And you feel sorrow and you feel sad, but then you forgive that and you accept that. It's sitting with things as they are and recognizing what you want and speaking in the affirmative. So rather than thinking, I'm afraid to lose muscle, try to shift that, from a negative, I am afraid of, I don't want to. This is a negative way of speaking. Rather shift to the affirmative and speak only in what you want. I want to be healthy. I want to be lean. I want to be strong. And you'll find everything that you need will arrive for you there. All the understanding, all of the emotional support, all of the physical support that you need, the books, the information. If you align yourself with the force of love that is here, and that only happens if you begin to think and speak in the affirmative, because the power of our universe is only white light, positive energy. So it's a one stable pulse of white light. And so it doesn't understand or work well with that negative speech that the humans have learned from physical experience, from the world. It's from the world, it's from man that we got those ideas and understanding. And in order to come back to breatharianism, we are coming back to the original thought and understanding. Look to nature's laws, look to the Kabbalah, look to ancient traditions to find the truth that the light is constant and white. Is there, I can't hear right now. I'm not sure if there's any more questions.
Sorry, my fault. I had the mic mute. Did you experience weakness, and how did you feel in this weak state, and how did you get back to feel strong again?
Yeah, you know, for sure, you're going to go through weakness. You're going to go through detoxification. You're going to go through emotional and physical low. It's a part of the walk. And for certain, I don't lift weights like I used to. I just don't do it anymore. I have no inspiration to do it anymore. I injured myself in my life, broke my body, broke myself with heavy weight lifting. I broke myself that way. I broke myself from sport, from aggressive, competitive sport, and heavy weight lifting on top of that for many years. So I did this, and I understand it. And I understand the passion to have that bigger, more muscular body. But I want you to understand that the reason why you want that big muscular body is only because you've been sold some illusions about value and your value. Similarly, I believed that I needed these muscles and I needed this heavy weights to feel valuable and worth. It's an deception. It's an untruth. It's a lie that we have in our head that you are more, you are better because you are bigger. Truly, at the end of the day, joy and happiness and fulfillment is not about how big your muscles are or how much you weigh, how much you can lift, or how big your bank account is. It's about internal shift of energy. That's what's going to make you happy, an internal shift of energy. So it's a change of thought process from I'm going to get happy because I'm going to have these big muscles. It's a change of thought process to shift from I need to get these big muscles to get healthy to I am healthy within me and I need to let the health come out of me. Stay focused and affirmative with your thoughts and words. Do not worry or fear about what you're going to lose in the transition. Whatever you lose, you will gain tenfold. Do not worry about this.
Thank you. And the opposite, instead of losing, what would you recommend to the skinny people? How they can be supported on this journey?
This is a good one. And I think we have to acknowledge that sometimes when the person is very skinny, very slim, slender, sometimes they are slender because they're just slender in build and wonderful and great. Accept all people for their sizes and colors and shapes, religions. But sometimes they are slim or skinny because they have some obsessions regarding eating. They have some hang-ups regarding eating, and there could be some, by diagnosis, anorexia or bulimia or something that's of that mindset that I'm not good unless I'm small. And so this is an area where the breatharian has to be careful. Because if the person is coming here to try and be smaller, to starve themselves and have an excuse, this is an important thing to be aware of. And I don't say that fasting is not good for them too, but the breatharian life is really about learning how to rebalance your relationship with food. And sometimes I would say that even in the breatharian walk, we'd have to recognize when to encourage our brothers and sisters to eat. Eating is a part of the journey. We're all trying to move to less food, but we have to eat our way there. It's very contraindicative, I understand. But with dialogue and practice, you can make sense of this.
Thanks, John. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure that many people, some bell will ring into many people's ideas. I combine few questions together. How is your daily life? What are the routine that allow you to be on this path, and how your diet looks like?
Yes, so I have come from a lifestyle of obsess, of overdoing it with protein and food. I was an overeater for sure. My bodybuilding life encouraged that. Food and supplements, vitamins, and even substances, drugs, addictions, anabolics, stimulants, hormones. That's where I came from. And in my healing, I had to learn how to let it go. And I'm probably still the bigger eater here of the breatharians, I would probably assume. But there was a time in my transition where I was very, very stern and fasting 4 or 5 days a week, really, really committing to that. And there is a value in this. The discipline of fasting has so much value. We need this discipline. But we can also go so far that we are breaking ourselves with this push, and then the body just won't accept it anymore, and then goes the other way, and then you can't stop eating. So this is, a reality of the breatharian life. So I really would encourage people to, rather than jump to extreme fast protocols and understandings, to really be gentle with yourself. Just try to remove the most dense and heavy foods. Eat them less. Proteins, fats, starches, cooked and processed foods. Reduce them. Hydrogen is pivotal to understand. Hydrogen is the energy of structured water, natural water, H3. It is the energy of fruits and vegetables. It is the energy of nature. It is free energy. And this energy is so volatile. If you heat it, the hydrogen bonds will be broken. So we want to reduce the cooked and processed foods. Proteins, fats, and starches must go down. But you can rise up your hydrogen-rich fruits and vegetables, your live foods. And I would encourage you at the beginning to just reduce the cooked and processed foods and move towards a more fruit and vegetable focused lifestyle. And I would encourage you to fast at the beginning 14 or 16 hours a day to get started. Become comfortable with this. Build a habit, build a routine. It's about habit and routine. This is what creates a successful life. If you want to be fit and healthy at 50, I'm coming up on 50 now. I've been in the gym for 35 years working and working out myself, an athlete my whole life. And I want to tell you that if you want to be an athlete after 50, if you want to be fit after 50, if you want to be sexy after 60, that we really need to jig the mind there a little bit with regards to what it takes. It's not about some crazy kill yourself plan. So especially after 45, after 50, after 60, the body hormonally is not really set for recovery any longer. And you can't process the foods that you could when you were 20 and 30. You must learn to do it with less. You need to learn to live on less. My lifestyle now is a real routine. It's very routine, and I love it. You would think that discipline and structure would make you resist it. That's what it is. You resist discipline and structure and letting go, and you resist it at the start. But through habit and practice and behavior of thought and word and food, of movement, of stretching and breathing, of sitting practice, of laying practice, of sleeping and eating and focusing on this goal, that over time that your energy shifts towards the goal. It's not what you do one time. It's not going on a fast for 7 days or 21 days. It's not how many days you can go. This is a mistake. It's a good practice. It's a good discipline. But it isn't about straining yourself. It's about finding some peace with yourself and your life. Because when you're out of peace, out of balance, out of sync, out of love, then you start to reach out to try to find love with someone or something or some substance or some chemical or some drug. So it's really a shifting of the way that we're thinking and speaking and being in each of our moments. We all have the same amount of time. Nobody has any more time than the other. It's really enjoying more of your time. And the human time never changes. The human is always doing the same things. Moving and breathing, sitting and breathing, sleeping and breathing, eating and breathing. There's no one moment different than another. It's only the human who assigns something different to each moment. Just change how you're assigning your moment. One moment at a time. One breath at a time. What are you thinking at this moment? Are you thinking about possibility and love? Or are you thinking about fear and disease? Whatever you're thinking about right now is what you are creating. This is a practice, and if you practice this skill, you will become better at it. Whatever you practice, you will become better at. If you practice pizza and chocolate chip and chicken wings, you will get very good at it.
Thank you, John. And yes, it's also very good to remind that the pranic path is a path of joy. And our audience wants to know if you did any process or it has been just an organic shift in your system.
I've worked through a number of natural processes. I'm fearful to share processes when I'm not in a personal setting with someone, because I don't want to tell somebody something and they do it, interpret it, and do it the wrong way or in their own way or misinterpret it. I never force or even mention really my practices unless specifically and personally asked. So I will respond because you're asking me about me, but I'm not answering to try and tell you what to do or anyone what to do, nor would I want to tell anyone that came to me to do anything that I have done. Just to clarify that, it is not about following me and doing what I do. It's about doing what's right for you, and that depends. Having said that, I would say that I have used structured water. I've used urine therapy, fasting, and urine therapy. I have used hydrogen-rich waters and hydrogen-rich foods, live foods, fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables and fasting, sun gazing, being and looking toward the sun, intending towards the sun, grounding on the earth, movement, exercise daily, ritualistically, stretching, flexibility. Some plant medicines, psilocybin, and even I went to Peru. I went and had the plant in Peru. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name right now. So some plant medicine too, but less about things that you do and less about what anybody else does. But when something calls to you, the enema, for instance, I read Arnold Ehret's book. It was a great inspiration for me. I recommend it, The Mucusless Diet. I also recommend Hilton Hotima's book, Man's Higher Consciousness. I recommend it. Sorry, I lost my thought there. I've lost what I was talking about there. I was talking about what we were talking about. My practices, yes, and so, structured water, clean water. I have to speak to this one. The water must be clean. The water needs to be energized. This is paramount to cleansing the body. The water is less for hydration and more for cleansing. Hydration comes from the fruits and vegetables because they're high in potassium and electrolytes. So they will hydrate. The fruits and the vegetables for hydration, and the water, clean water, distilled water, natural water, is distilled and structured because the natural water sits on the earth. And just like when you stand bare feet upon the mother, there is a magnetism there that happens to the natural water in the lake. It is H3. This is structured or energy-rich water. We need water coming from a natural system, a living being, a fruit, a vegetable, distilled water in the sunlight, hydrogen-rich water. I recommend hydrogen water bottle. Hydrogen peroxide, food grade. I'll say this word, but I am not telling anyone to do anything. It takes an understanding for something to work. If I don't understand or believe in something, it will not work for me. Do not copy me. Do not copy me. These are my practices. These are my words. Just sharing. Sorry for any confusion. I love you. Thank you.
No confusion, John, and really thank you so much for your heart-centered, humble, and honest sharing. We finish here this conference. We really enjoy the information you shared, and we hope to see you here at the festival next year. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
The recording has stopped.
And that's the experience.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you for watching. I will definitely have the official recording shared. I just wanted to make sure I captured this today, something very important for me, just bringing clarity and completion to myself and my life and my goals. And seeing change energetically, emotionally, physically in my life. Just sharing with my friends, just practicing. This is what I do. This is my nature. If you'd like to get more from me, learn more from me, you can get onto my email list on my website. You can get into my private group. You can get onto my private messenger chat. Get to know me, get to understand what it is that I'm thinking, saying, and doing. It's a habit. It's a practice. It's a behavior. It's a way of being. It's a lifestyle. It's a love. It's a self-loving practice. This is what it is, lovelies. Coming back to love, coming back to balance, coming back into alignment with what we are, what we really are, what we have always been. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing, supporting me, and leaving comments are the most valuable thing for me. That helps my message to get out. My message is suppressed and hidden. It always has been. It always likely will be. But with your comments and your likes and your shares, if you have a friend, share me in Messenger. Send them some hope. Let them know that they can heal themselves. This is my message. You can heal yourself. You can do it for yourself, with yourself, by yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you.